think it's time to bring back blasphemy laws, and here's why.
The thing that's really disturbing about Noah isn't the silly. It's that it's immoral. It's about a psychotic mass murderer who gets away with it, and his name is God. Genesis says God was so angry with himself for screwing up when he made mankind so flawed, that he sent the flood to kill everyone, men, women, children, babies. What kind of tyrant punishes everyone just to get back at the few he's mad at?
And then he added this little ditty.
Hey, God, you know you're kind of a dick when you're in a movie with Russell Crowe and you're the one with anger issues.
Bill Maher is known for being an offensive, anti-Christian bigot.
Christian calling for Bill Maher to be tortured by Essence of Thought.
I think it's time to
Get this thing to pause. I like Essence of Thought. He's one of my very favorite people on YouTube. I like the way he sounds. I like the way he articulates. I like the way his mind works. And this video is awesome. It's a Brit teaching a Yank about American history. It's a sad thing that Americans are so stupid now, that people from other countries know more about our history than we do. But you know, you listen to the bullshit enough. Oh, this is a Christian nation. Oh, it says in God we trust on our money. Oh, it says right in our pledge, under God. So that means this is a Christian nation. I'm sorry, but really. Anyway, this Essence of Thought uncovered a rather unusual individual. If I can figure out his name. I have to. Yes, I know. I'm supposed to be doing this so I can see. Who is he talking about in this? I was hoping it would say Tristan something is his name. Anyway, this guy's quite a piece of work and quite a crybaby at the same time. And no, I'm not talking about Essence of Thought. I'm talking about this Tristan character who can't take a little bit. He calls what Bill Maher says as being the worst blasphemy ever heard on the airwaves. I'm like, you haven't been watching YouTube then, because there's a hell of a lot worse blasphemy going on a regular basis on YouTube, which is why I like hanging out on YouTube. I could not say more bad things about your God if I tried, but I could certainly top what Bill Maher said. Anyway, so I wanted to play some clips of this video. Hopefully Essence of Thought won't mind, because I just think, and some of his points will be in this because he makes some very good points. When I think of this guy and his idea that we should go back to the good days and start torturing people who say what they think. Next thing you know, they're going to be telling us, if you draw a cartoon, we're going to behead you. I mean, that's exactly what this guy, listen to the words that this guy says. He sounds like a fucking Taliban, a Christian Taliban. And you know what? That's what it's coming to. That's what Christianity is becoming in this country.
It's his trademark. But this time, he's gone too far. There was a time when Christians actually believed in defending the honor of God.
Yes, it was called the Inquisition, in which many people were tortured and many people died as a result of religious atrocity. Be very thankful, Tristan, that your constitution has written into it freedom of speech and freedom from religious state in the First Amendment.
And they would have unanimously condemned Bill Maher. Back then, Maher would have faced stiff penalties for his slanderous crimes against God and country.
You are on about America, the same America that A. Thomas Jefferson belongs to, the man who stated, and I quote, "The hocus-pocus phantasm of a god like another Cerberus with one body and three heads, had its birth and growth in the blood of thousands and thousands of martyrs. A letter to Jane Smith, December 8, 1822. If you didn't know, a Cerberus was a foul monster, a dog-like creature with three heads that guarded the door to the underworld. Jefferson didn't even see your God on par with a psychotic man, but an actual monster.
The reason? Slander the almighty authority of America, God, and you've ridiculed the very foundation of its laws, values, institutions, and authority, and leadership. You see, you slander one, you slander all.
The 1796 treaty with Tripoli clarifies that the United States was not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. This was a public statement, and the officials at the time believed it and meant it. This treaty was written under the presidency of George Washington and signed under the presidency of John Adams. Why do you know so little about your American history? For someone who claims to be patriotic, you don't know jack all about its founding fathers or its early presidents.
Isn't this sad? This guy is actually, he's an American, and he's actually wishing for the good old days when people could be tortured for simply saying that they think God is a piece of shit, an evil, vile monstrosity that has caused more death and misery, you know, in this world. You know, I think he's a monster too. I'm totally with President Jefferson on that score. I think this God is a monster, and I'm grateful that he doesn't exist because he's a fucking monster. And don't you think if I know something is bad and evil, ooh, I would be able to recognize it? I'll tell you what, this snake right here has a nicer personality, a nicer character, and more good qualities than the fucking Christian God. Actually, I have to say that the Christian God is this diluted, watered down pansy who doesn't do anything. I had this same girl that wrote me yesterday about Jeannie Wiley told me that there are teams of specialists right now currently in the act of fixing all the errors in the Bible so it's correct. I'm like, teams? It takes teams of specialists? And you believe it? You believe this book? That is so fucked up? It takes teams of specialists to fix it? And then I'm like, so your God is so impotent that he can't even stop people from fucking up his word, his precious, perfect word? He can't stop them? He can't strike them dead for trying to tamper with his word? Holy shit. And she's like, worshipping this thing? I'm sorry. What a useless, spineless, powerless God. I'm sorry. I'm deliberately trying to sound more blasphemous than Bill Maher. I think that's how it's said, Maher. Anyway, I like Bill. Yay, Bill!
Ever since then, atheists freely and very publicly ridiculed God, challenge every public demonstration of Christian religion, belittle Christians, and attack every institution, like marriage, bequeathed to us by our Christian forebears. But I gotta say, Maher's comments last week are the most shocking and heinous public utterances of blasphemy on U.S. airwaves yet. And it's shameful, utterly shameful, that Christians, and especially Christian leaders, have said very little. America, you see, is hanging on by a thin thread of long-suffering divine justice. The pugnacious, degenerate Bill Maher, he may think blasphemy is a laughing matter. The nation of America may think it can hide behind the First Amendment and free speech. And Christians may falsely think they are demonstrating Christ-like love by remaining quiet in the face of profligate profanity. But a day of reckoning is coming. God is very clear. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. And that includes any nation. If we, you see, are unwilling to hold blasphemers accountable, the almighty judge of this world certainly will. I'm Tristan Emilio, and I make no apologies.
No apologies.
It's not like I expected anything different from such a grade A arsehole like yourself. You say you love America, yet want laws that existed prior the Declaration of Independence. The greatest irony is, you work for a group that calls itself Freedom Press, and yet you call for the physical harm of a man because he hurt your feelings in what he said. You are sick and you are twisted.
I think it's scary. I know it's fun to laugh at people that are this whacked out crazy, but it's scary too. It's scary that anybody would get this idea that actually lament the fact that we don't torture people in this country for not being Christians, or worse, torturing somebody for saying something that they think. You know, it's crazy and insane that some Muslims, the more radical Muslims, will literally hunt you down and chop your head off, or try very hard to, at the very least, get you imprisoned for fucking drawing a cartoon or a picture of Muhammad, you know? And this is the mentality that this man is demonstrating. He is showing... Uh-oh. Oh, the hat can't handle the weight of the snake. Ooh, this looks like a scene from Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, after he gets... Oh, this is actually kind of uncomfortable. Okay, we're gonna do this. Hold this up. There, okay. What was I saying? Oh, you were seeing the mentality that people hate so much in radical Muslims being demonstrated by this man in America, and he's literally lamenting the fact, it's a big snake, isn't it? Literally lamenting the fact that we don't torture people for saying that they think God is evil and vile and a mass murderer and a baby killer and a monster. You know? This guy is lamenting this, and between him and the examples I've pointed out lately of people who want to stone gays to death and make women so they can't fucking say amen in church. They can't talk in church. I feel scared for this country. I really do. And I have a snake on my head, and trust me, I'm a lot more scared for my country right now than I am for me. Anyway, she doesn't seem to want to move either. She's quite happy to stay in this position. See, there's her head way over here. Ah, there she is. So, you know what? I think I'm going to say goodbye. If you've been watching, thank you. Bye. I'm hugging the snake. I am. We're having a moment. I took my hat off because she was destroying my hat. Yep. I mean it though. Seriously. This animal right here has more redeeming qualities than the piece of shit Christian God. So, okay, that's all. Bye.